What are your 4 psychic abilities and how can you develop them? That's what I'm going to share with you in today's video. Hi there, my name is Melissa and I am a spiritual and intuitive coach helping you to learn how to connect with your angels and develop your own inner psychic abilities. If that interests you, please hit that subscribe button. I share these videos weekly. So you have 4 psychic abilities. In school, you learned that you have 5 physical senses. But what they didn't teach you is that you also have 4 spiritual senses, because you are living in 2 worlds at once. You have the physical body that has all the amazing things that our physical body can do, but we are also energy. You are spirit. You are a soul with a body, not a body with a soul. So today I'm going to share with you what the 4 psychic abilities are and a couple tips on how you can start being more psychic. The first psychic ability is the gift of intuition. It's also known as clairaudience. When you receive messages through your gift of clairaudience, it's like the still small voice inside. You might hear a word, you might have a thought. When it's coming in from your psychic ability, it's like it's just popping in out of nowhere. It's not the thinking, logical mind at work. When you're really tuned into your clairaudience, you might hear your name called and there's no one there. Or you might hear a song that's stuck in your head. It's always really interesting when I hear a song that I haven't heard for years and all of a sudden it's stuck in my head. And I'll think, oh, that's interesting. Why am I hearing that song? And I listen to the lyrics and it often has a meaning for me. It has a message for me. A really funny example of this was when a few years ago I was going through a separation and I was feeling some doubt about whether to do that or not. And I heard my guide sing the Queen song, "I Want to Break Free." They were confirming that it was time to break free of this relationship that wasn't serving me so I could step into my own life. The other amazing gift of the gift of intuition is discernment. Being able to know, what is it I'm picking up? Where is it coming from? Who is it coming from? And clarifying energy that way. Really, really important. Next, we have our gift of vision or clairvoyance. So when you're using this ability, maybe you see a picture in your mind, a symbol of something. Through your visionary gift, you'll often have dreams that are symbolic. So they don't literally come through, but everything in the dream is a symbol representing something. Okay, so you kind of have to decipher the symbols, which isn't always the easiest. But if you work at it, you'll start to have your symbols for your dreams that commonly come up. The gift of vision is where you need to see it to understand it. And so a visionary person who's strong in vision will have a clear picture or a plan in their mind's eye. Through your gift of vision, you can also tell a lot about a person just by looking at them. You can see their face, you can maybe see their mood, see even traits about them just from looking at their energy. And through your gift of vision, you can see auras, right? So aura is a word just for physically actually seeing the energy around people. Maybe you first see it as a white light. And if it goes deeper, you can even see colors, sometimes even see people's spirit guides in their aura. Today I'm in front of a blue wall, so that's not a great environment for seeing an aura. It tends to be a little easier when you're in front of a white background. It's one of the techniques that I do in my Psychic Gifts Expansion course. Next, we have our gift of feeling or clairsentience. So when you're tuned into your gift of feeling, you might get a feeling for something. You might have a hunch. Also, the gift of feeling is really sensitive to actually body sensations like touch. So maybe a handshake, you can feel that person's energy. You can sense things about them through touching their hand. And it's also like getting chills or warmth or heat or cool on the body and sensing energy that way, in that real kinesthetic way. Through your gift of feeling, you have natural hands-on healing abilities. You have a lot of warmth and energy in the hands. And so if you're high in this gift, you'll be able to do that energy healing techniques just with a little more ease, such as Reiki and healing touch and those kind of things. Through the gift of feeling, you also have the gift of psychometry. So this is when you hold an object in your hands and you can pick up vibrations from it. It's a fun technique to do, is to actually hold an object that belongs to somebody else. See if you can pick up on their energy from that object. And then we also have automatic writing through our gift of feeling. So, the feeling gift is a lot about the hands and the touch, but automatic writing is when you can even just write messages from spirit and not even know what you're writing and then look down at the page. Now, I personally have not done it to that degree because feeling is actually number 4 in my personal gift order. It just doesn't come quite as easily, and I haven't taken the time to practice and develop automatic writing. But I've heard a lot of people who really go deep with this and can get very profound messages through the gift of feeling, which is really amazing. And then last but certainly not least, because it's a very powerful gift, we have the gift of prophecy, which is also known as claircognizance. So this is characterized by an inner knowing. Through this gift, you just know things. You don't know how you know, you just know. It's a sensing of energy. It's also a sensing of the future. So sometimes you might even have premonitions where you see something happening in the future before and then it actually literally comes true. You might even have prophetic dreams that literally come true. That is kind of sensing the future. The future is never set in stone, but there are certain tendencies that can be very likely to come into fruition. So you're sensing ahead and knowing what's coming. A very simple example of when this has happened to me is back in 2020 when we were in lockdown and we didn't know how long it was going to last and what's happening, right? It's easy in hindsight to sort of dismiss that. But when it was first happening, it was quite stressful. How long are we going to be in lockdown, right? And I remember I had moved into an apartment community with a pool and I was a little bothered, frustrated that we weren't allowed to use the pool because that's one of the reasons I'd moved in and never had had a chance to actually use it because then we had COVID. So I was taking a walk one day, walking past the closed pool, and I got a premonition that kids would be playing in that pool by July. And guess what? It came true. And this was about, early April when we had no idea what was going to happen. So that was just a little premonition. It was sort of like, it wasn't a big deal thing to my life, obviously, not a life or death situation, but it was sort of giving me some confirmation and some trust that things are going to get better maybe sooner than you might think. And that's very heartening to have those kind of messages. Through your gift of prophecy, you'll also kind of get really sleepy when there's a lot of energy around. You might daydream, you get kind of messages that way. And the prophetic part can go into trance, whether it be a full trance where a soul is kind of communicating for you and you're not consciously aware of what's happening. A lot of times people will actually just experience a semi-trance where maybe you're channeling and you're tuning into a soul that wants to communicate through you, but you're still consciously aware. You haven't left the building, so to speak. But that can be a really powerful gift for channeling and healing in that way. So those are your 4 gifts. You have all 4. You do have a personal gift order, and you can learn about that in the Angels Direct Connect session that I have in my services. It's a private session that's available to you. Now, what are the ways to develop your gifts? There's 2 ways to get you started. One is to really acknowledge more when you are getting psychic messages. They can come in at random moments of the day. It's a hunch, it's an idea. Oh, by the way, prophecy is a lot of ideas too. Forgot about that. It's a word, a picture, a memory, whatever it is, it's intuitively coming to you. And a lot of times we dismiss that too quickly. We don't acknowledge it. So I want you to be more aware, pay more attention, and acknowledge more the messages that are coming in so you can actually do something with them instead of just dismissing them and ignoring them. They could be really helpful for your life. And the second thing that you can do is to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Now, our psychic abilities are innate. So you might say, well, why do I have to practice? Because we have squashed them aside. We've talked ourselves out of them. Our parents told us it wasn't real, you're making it up. And so we need to reawaken those skills by practicing them. And that's why I created my Psychic Gifts Expansion course. It's a brand new online course. I'm so excited about it. And it gives you the practice that you need, so that when you're practicing in the course and doing the techniques that I provide you in simple ways, anybody can do them, then you're going to become more aware. You're going to increase your spiritual sensitivity so that you are more and more psychic in your daily life. And why would you want to be more psychic? Because when you're in touch with your psychic ability, or in other words, your intuition, that is what leads you to a life of fulfillment and joy and abundance, and gets you into alignment with what you're really here to do, right? It's not this grandiose, like, oh, your life is going to be perfect. That's not what it's about. But it's getting you into alignment with the real you, what brings you ultimate fulfillment and happiness and success in your life, whatever that means to you. Instead of living a life that you were pressured into, that you just think you're supposed to do because that's what everybody else does. It's in a life that's in alignment. You're in that flow and you're loving what you're involved in. That's what your intuition can lead you to. There's another video that I'd love you to watch next, which is called the 5 Tips to Develop Your Psychic Ability. So go ahead, I've linked that one right here. Check it out and I'll see you there.